Alright, TNA fans, welcome back, welcome back. This time I'm gonna do a review because last week I did not. Um, this show had a lot of freaking talking, didn't it? But it's okay because I enjoyed every bit of it. Okay, this show felt more like a promo show than it did a wrestling show, though. But there was wrestling, there should be, there always is. So I'm gonna try to keep this short, although I don't know. There isn't really much that I kept short though because I have literally like 5 pages. That's how much talking there was. I've never had like 5 pages, always on a 2 or 3, but this is a lot this time. But let's just go through all of it and see what the show was and how I thought it was. Okay, so the show starts off with EC3 coming out. EC3 talks about the things he's done since he's been in TNA, and the one thing he's missing is a moment in perfection. He's on a quest to be the best, and and then he says he's bound for glory. And then Lashley comes out, the Destroyer. They've definitely pushed this guy Lashley to the top, haven't they? Really, really a dominant wrestler in a dominant force in TNA right now, literally. Lashley says he's the best because he beats up everybody in the X division and took their title. I beat up your buddy Drew Galloway and became the World Heavyweight Championship. And you, Ethan, are not the man to beat me. And then EC3 says that Lashley is a legit athlete in sports entertainment or whatever you want to call it. And then he says Lashley has changed into a force of nature. Lashley then says he got better than Kurt Angle, Drew Galloway, everybody in the roster, and even better than EC3. And then James Storm comes out. Speaking of James Storm, there are two types of cowboys. You have the fag boy and you have a badass cowboy. Fag boy is Shawn Michaels. I call him a fag boy because he ain't no badass. I mean, he's definitely better with his wrestling, but he ain't no badass. James Storm is a fucking badass. That guy is a badass cowboy. Shawn Michaels is like a pretty boy or more like a sissy boy, but whatever. James says tonight is not bound for glory. Tonight we are here live in Orlando, Florida. James said he got all the respect in the world for EC3, but tonight is my night. And tonight these people are going to chant the name that they have been chanting for the last 14 years. And then he tells Lashley that he can stand there and kiss his ass or come down here and take the title from him. So Lashley goes down there to try and take the title, and the two end up brawling instead. So they brawl their way out of the studio. While with EC3 still being in the ring, Mike Bennett then attacks EC3 from behind, and the two now start to brawl. Of course, Moose jumps in and starts to brawl as well, and then later on, Eddie Edwards came running down, and he started to brawl as well. And then Eddie Edwards grabs the microphone and calls out a referee to have the tag match that they were supposed to have later at the show, to have it right now. So that match happened at that moment. I thought the match was a bit slow paced in the beginning. Actually, during the whole match, it was a bit slow paced, but it was a good match. I like the teamwork between EC3 and Eddie Edwards. That was really good. I think Moose botched a move. I don't know which one it was, but ultimately Moose and Mike Bennett ended up winning. Yeah, I know where the botch was. Moose didn't know that Mike Bennett unattacked him, so he thought he was the, how do you say it? He was the one that needed to count him, but instead Mike Bennett should have been the one to take the pin. That's where the botch was. How didn't he know that he got attacked? I mean, he literally tapped the guy. But whatever. So after that we get video highlights of James Storm. I'm not gonna go into full detail of that. And right after that video highlight, we have the new addition to the roster came out. Aaron Stevens, who we knew as Damien Sandow in WWE and goes by the name of Aron Rex in TNA. I must say I'm a bit disappointed in the crowd, because if this was an NXT crowd, they would literally, and I mean literally, mark the fuck out. And I felt like the Orlando studio, the Orlando crowd didn't really give him that innovation that he actually needed. They were cheering and yelling or whatever, but it wasn't really the mark out type of cheer, you know what I mean? And it also looked like a few people in there didn't even know who the guy fucking was. You know what I mean? And that's why I've been saying I never liked the Orlando studio. The fans from Pennsylvania, Bethlehem, those fans are really good fans. Those fans are the type of fans that actually cheer and chant good stuff, and not the unnecessary shit that these people in the Orlando studio chant. Which, yeah, you could tell a lot of teenagers are in the Orlando studio, so that basically explains it too. But or better yet, the UK crowd, now that's a TNA crowd. But Aaron Rex cut an amazing freaking promo, like a legit promo. It also was a shoot promo at the same time, because he took a few shots, but he did it in a nice way. But so I'm gonna paraphrase this whole other promo to you, read it to you, and then we'll continue. So he says, Impact Wrestling has done what a few people were scared to do. Give me a microphone on live television. That's the first one right there. That's the first shot he took right there. And then he says, I'm not gonna stand out here and talk about glass ceilings and brass rings and any other kind of cliche. That's the second shot, because you know Vince McMahon had this dumbass, you gotta grab the brass ring or whatever the fuck to reach the top and all of that bullshit. Yeah, that's the second shot right there. I'm going to do what I have always done, what I always have done, and that is tell the truth. I'm going to speak with full disclosure, and for those that used to employ me, don't worry, this is not about you. And we know who he was talking about, of course. Then he says, this is about something near and dear to my heart, something I've always put first and foremost in my career. The paying customer, the supporter of professional wrestling, the fans. This is definitely a guy I respect. The way he cut this promo and the things he said. Massive respect for this guy. And then he says, over the course in the last 5 years, me having this philosophy, some people have labeled me too entertaining to receive opportunities to compete for world titles. There is another shot, because we all know that they never would give this guy an actual world title shot. I mean, they did with the whole Money in the Bank thing, but what did they do? He lost it. He cashed in, he lost it. Like, what the fuck? You know, and this is one of the top guys. This guy, his mic work is so fucking good, as well as his wrestling. You know what I mean? So how can you not give this guy a shot? But anyways, then he continues saying that no matter what any CEO or authority figure may want you to believe, anyone who has set foot in any ring has always worked directly for all of you. Pointing at the fans. There are some that are preordained, to receive opportunities after opportunities, and in the process, not only is your intelligence insulted, your opinions are thrown out of the window. Yep, definitely. There are others that on an even playing field seize opportunity, and right here at Impact Wrestling, this is the proving ground where talent can't pass or fail, succeed or not succeed based on talent alone, which is true. Look at the stars TNA has built throughout the years, and you have all these idiots saying how TNA can build a star, how TNA doesn't know how to treat or build stories or feuds or whatever the fuck, you know. And then he says, do we really need proof? And then he calls out name like Bobby Lashley, Drew Galloway, EC3. He even mentioned Matt Broken, Matt Hardy, or Brother Nero. And then he says, even playing field, take and seize opportunity, exercise and realize my full potential. And then he says, mark my words, my way is simply proving it here. And my way is not only going to change the landscape, but it's going to change the very template of our industry. Which is true. Like the video I've made before this one, where I talk about Bound for Glory 2006, the Bound for Glory that is coming October 2nd, where I said that things could really change leading up to Bound for Glory now that this guy has been signed, because I have no doubt in my mind that they're gonna put this guy in the Bound for Glory. He might even end up being in the main event to challenge for the world title. Who knows? We still have a whole month and a half before Bound for Glory, so things might really change leading up to it, you know. So I'm really looking forward to it on how they will really treat this guy. And if it's one thing we know about TNA is that TNA let the wrestlers be themselves. You know, TNA isn't like WWE where they have all these unnecessary bullshitty rules. You know what I mean? So after that promo, so that was a really good fucking promo by Aron Rex. You could definitely tell that this guy has really great mic skills on that promo alone. Okay. So after that we had a backstage segment which featured Gail Kim, Ali, and Maria. Basically, Maria putting this segment was just about Maria putting Gail Kim in another match, and it was against Marty Bell in a no disqualification. After that, we are still backstage with Moose, Mike Bennett, and Eddie Edwards. Basically, instead of Eddie Edwards facing Mike Bennett for next week's show, he's going to face Moose, which I expect to be a really good match, knowing that these two are very athletic. So then we get the no disqualification match between Marty Bell and Gail Kim. I've said this a couple of times before. Marty Bell isn't really someone that you should expect to give you that wow effect. You know, she doesn't have that wow effect in terms of her wrestling, but she has impressed me for the past 2 weeks. She really, you know, kind of leveled things up a bit. I really liked her wrestling ever since, I think it was the week before this week. She wasn't in a match last week, but she needs to get better, because I really like Marty Bell, you know what I mean. Been a fan of her since her Shimmer days and Shine Wrestling days. So, but Gail Kim got the win, obviously. So after the match, you had Marty, Maria, and Ali attacking Gail Kim, but then Jade comes running out to help Gail Kim. So Maria now says that Jade has to face Gail Kim next week. I think it's next week, right? After that, we have a Matt Hardy highlight video. So we see this guy driving in a car, and he's talking to someone, but the camera doesn't show who it is, right? So when they arrive at destination, the person he was talking to, or the thing he was talking to, appeared to be Vanguard 1, the drone. Never a dull moment with these drones. But yeah, in this segment, Matt Hardy just walked up to Jeff Hardy, telling him that, hey, we gotta go to the Impact Zone because I gotta give you your next opponent. And then after that, we had another James Storm highlight video. Like I said, I'm not gonna go into this. And apparently, if you question Matt Hardy, his brilliance, his broken condition, he will eat you and delete you. Ain't this whole broken Matt Hardy thing one of the best things in TNA right now? Like seriously, I've never been that much of a Matt Hardy fan, but with this character, I'm sold. He definitely made me one of his biggest fan ever. Like seriously. And then he said, and then Matt Hardy said he had a premonition that the demonic decay tried to abduct King Maxwell, and because of that premonition, Maxwell, Rebecca, and Senior Benjamin must stay at California and protect the key for, yes, something like that. That they have to protect the key with their life. I don't know, something like that. So that's basically why they stayed at home, why they weren't, why Robbie and Maxwell weren't in the studio. He says he will get his hand on the tag team titles, and the man that will make that happen is the absolute my brother Nero. Funny thing is, when Jeff Hardy was in the ring, then as usual, Matt Hardy with his brother Nero, I knew you'd come. The funny thing was that even Jeff Hardy and the crowd said it along with him. There, I thought that was really cool and funny. It's become a really standard thing with this whole I knew you'd come. They should make a t-shirt of that as well, not just the control delete or the broken Nero, brother Nero, but also the I knew you'd come and it's over. This was really cool. He says his broken brilliance built the Hardy brand. Last week was the first step in you paying for your sins. You will procure the World Tag Team titles for me. Tonight is your next step in that honesty. And then Jeff asked Matt why he bit part of a man's face off, because last week he kind of bit someone, and I can't believe that there are really people that thought that it was real. I mean, holy shit, obviously it's part of the fucking show. It's still real to me, damn it. It's still real to me, damn it. Fans make me laugh. And then Matt says because ants aren't allowed to judge gods. Jeff then says the people don't want to see a broken Matt or a brother Nero. They want to see the Hardys kicking ass like they used to before I broke my leg and before I broke you. Matt says the Hardys can never go back because it's over. And then right after that, and that minutes after that, Al Snow comes out with the Tribunal. And what appears to be that Tribunal will face Jeff Hardy on a 2-on-1 match, or at least I thought it was a 2-on-1 match, which it was indeed because Matt Hardy didn't wrestle at all. But during the match, you had a fan that held a sign, and Matt Hardy like walked up to the guy. He did something, I don't know what he did, but so then for some reason the fan, got possessed. So whenever like Matt Hardy did delete, then the fan like repeat after him, delete, as if the fan got possessed or shit. I thought that was really awesome as well. And then you had even Al Snow with his fucking annoying flute, be like I thought that was really fucking funny, holy shit. But then later, Jeff Hardy sets up 2 tables, and he puts Al Snow on one, goes over the top rope, and lands on Al Snow. And later, then Jeff Hardy swan tombs himself on the other table. And then Jeff Hardy does this really creepy, awkward laugh, and then he keeps saying, "I'm Brother Nero." And right there, I knew the direction that they're going with Jeff Hardy, and I had a feeling that that was the direction they were gonna go, where they are gonna probably make Jeff Hardy just like Matt Hardy, but I would prefer it that Jeff Hardy just goes crazy or insane in the Willow way, not the Matt Hardy way where they probably have him have different paint face or whatever. I don't know, but that was definitely the direction they're going to, because how else would they continue this whole Matt Hardy Jeff Hardy thing? Because Matt Hardy keeps on saying he deleted him, but I thought he already like legit deleted him when they had the last match. So yeah, why does he still keeps on going with this whole I'm gonna delete you? So but I don't know, we'll see. After that, we had a backstage segment where we see Bobby Lashley, Dixie Carter, and Billy Corgan. Basically, Bobby Lashley saying that if he holds all three titles, he is the card holder and he holds all the power. Well, that was quick. I'm already at the last page. After that, we had a backstage segment this time with Decay. Pretty much Decay saying, Rosemary saying that Bram, his destruction was a lesson for those who dared to challenge them. Of course, they said a lot more, but I'm trying to keep it short because I already talked so much. There was a lot of talking. After that, we had Drew Galloway in the ring. I'm not gonna go into full details of that as well. Drew Galloway, of course, pissed off as usual, which has been the same promos he almost has been cutting for the 3 past weeks, where he's pissed off at EC3 because of what EC3 did. So Drew Galloway offers a proposal for one more match with EC3, and the winner of that match then goes to Bound for Glory. And I will be surprised if Drew Galloway wins that match. I really am, because I have a strong feeling that they are going to drop the title on EC3 at Bound for Glory. Is a bit too predictable right now. Looking at how they have been treating EC3, he is the top guy in TNA obviously right now, but hey. After that, we had the main event, James Storm versus Bobby Lashley. I like the way James Storm wrestles. He wrestles clean, he's a good mic worker, he's a badass, he has charisma. And I thought this was a really good match. It was a long match. I think it lasted like 12 minutes or 30 minutes. It was a really good match, and it was a clean match. Okay, if it's anything I dislike, then that is a main event where the title is being defended and it's not a clean match. It always ends up in a no decree or no disqualification. I hate that. They need to stop doing that, especially when the title is on the line. So I'm really glad that this match didn't have any interference or whatever the fuck, but it was a really good match. Obviously Bobby Lashley got the win, so now he is King of the Mountain champion and X Division champion and World Heavyweight champion. They've definitely made Bobby Lashley, freak of nature, the top guy, the dominant. He is the dominant heel right now in TNA, a strong force of nature. So yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. With a guy like that carrying all 3 titles, I'm not even complaining. But that's about it. That was short. I thought this review would be a little bit longer, but okay. So I want to hear from you guys what you thought. I thought the show was amazing, even with all the talking, because I'm not really a fan of too much talking when it comes to wrestling shows. But I admired it. I admired it this time. So not complaining. It was a good show. We have Aaron Stevens, aka Aaron Rex, in TNA right now. Can't wait to see how they're gonna treat this guy and how they're gonna book this guy. So TNA is definitely going the right direction. They have been for quite some time now. Ever since the whole Broken Matt Hardy thing, they have been doing really good. And like I said in the video, the Bound for Glory video, TNA does have money, but they've learned their lesson. They don't spend it on dumb shit anymore. Okay, they're spending it wisely, and you can see that with the stars they are hiring right now. So yeah, that's about it. Hit the like button, subscribe if you like to, and I will see you next week. And thank you for watching. Hopefully all the way till the end, because but thank you for watching, guys.